Hey, welcome everybody. We are here today to talk about making blog posts for your website, which should be probably the single thing that you do most of whenever you get onto your website. And for that reason, we really want to make this a streamlined process and a nice, clear, easy way for you to get some work done and also benefit some of your other major marketing tasks when you're trying to promote events and services at your library. What I'm going to do first is highlight a training website link for you, a tutorial that we've upgraded with. And every time we do this, we find something else to add to it to make it a little clearer. And this is a resource to you in print. And then in the end, there will be a video that will also walk through all of this. So today, I'm going to go ahead and put this into chat and talk about how, and this is the website that will talk about how to do this on a step-by-step basis. And I just see that Teresa has to go. So thanks, Teresa. Our training for this is going to cover how to create your standard post with a featured image, what you'll need for that, and we've created a checklist that if you're a checklist kind of person, or if you're trying to train a new employee at your library or somebody who's supporting you on a website, might be very handy for both websites and marketing in general. How to select your categories, setting a featured image, adding a post excerpt, which is a little optional piece that can just make your post that much more snappy. And then the finalizing of saving, previewing, and scheduling a future post and setting a post to expire. This is what I want to draw your attention to for this today, is this very first box, creating a new blog post, what you will need. This is a way to help you prepare to every time you need to put a blog post on your website. And there's a quick and easy checklist here. And then down here, you can download a Word document or a PDF version of the same checklist, which has both these items that you will need for it and some tips and tricks for making sure that what you have is the best quality that you can use. I'll be creating a blog post today for you for, once I get to my home here, for our example library, our Blue Pine Library, located somewhere in Wisconsin up north here. And what we are going to do is create a post that is going to show up in this post slider on the home page, and then in a couple of pages, program pages and other pages on the website. The trick is we do not need to click on this box or open this box or do any kind of editing here for the post to show up. We will do all of our work on the back side of the website, and it will automatically, when we select the right categories, appear here on the front page. So we are going to put together our materials and go through our process to create a post for the Blue Pine Library. What I'm going to need for today is a post title, our post content, the categories where the post goes, a featured image for that post, the date when that post begins, the date when I want that post to disappear from the website, and any additional documents or web pages that that post might need to link to for people. So here is my checklist that I downloaded from the web page. And I went ahead and I made the Word document and I filled it in with my own information, which is what is here in green. So I'm a librarian, a youth programming librarian at the Blue Pine Library in Blue Pine, Wisconsin. And I am going to create we host every year a maker camp, a STEAM camp for students at our school Fab Lab. We do this in partnership with the school. And so it's pretty routine now. We've done it, this is our third year. And so really all I need to do is make sure that we get the registrations in time so that we can plan this camp. And I need to get this out by the end of, or by the next week, and then they'll have until March 31st. So that's my background on my program. I have created a post title for Summer STEAM Camp. I've created some post text, which is also, by the way, the vast majority of a press release that I'll be putting out later. So it's a cross purpose. I know my website, so I know I want this to appear on the home page, on a program page, and on a youth program page that we maintain. And I have a featured image that I will download from Canva in a minute. And I know that I wanted to start on February 20th and then give them until, and then have it come down on April 1st. And I need to make sure that I include the registration form, which I already have saved as a PDF. And I want to I want to include a link to a web page that describes what a Fab Lab is and what our partnership is about. So I'm going to begin this process. I've got this all prepared in advance. I'm going to come over here to my base library website, which is actually our Blue Pine Library website, and I'm going to make a new post. Just in case you're not familiar with this, when I have it crushed down and minimized a little bit to fit on my screen, you don't see the full names, you just see the icons for the different menus, but post is the little thumbtack. So I'll do this, move her back into where I want to. So I have my split screen, I can see both of the things I'm working on. I'm going to go over to the thumbtack and I'm going to add new post. So I have this is a WordPress editor. I am not using Divi for this post. So I am not going to click on this use the Divi builder button. I am going to work entirely in the WordPress editor that we have in front of us. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to copy and paste my Summer STEAM Camp title. And when I click away from that, I notice that now I have something that pops up and it says it's a permalink, and it gives me a website address, and it ends in Summer STEAM Camp. What WordPress does is it uses the title of your post, no matter how long or short it is, and it makes a slug, is what this is called. I don't know why it's called a slug, but it is. It's a slug that is unique to this post. You can then turn around and use this later in your marketing materials, and it will take somebody directly to this post on your website. Now, my post content. I've gotten a little advice from this checklist that I created, or that was created, and it tells me some rules to follow. First off, the content of your post absolutely must be text. I know some people, I'm not going to name names, and I know why, I do understand why, upload the poster that you have created for your event into this big white box, hit publish, walk away, and call it a day. And I'm going to tell you why you don't want to do that. There's several big reasons. The main one is that we are champions of accessibility, and anybody who is vision impaired, blind, not unable to see a screen, and they are using a screen reader which reads words aloud to them that appear on a website, will not be able to see this text. A screen reader, as much as AI is a future, is not here yet. A screen reader cannot read words in an image. So they would open up this link to your Summer STEAM Camp, and they would hear blank. If we want to make sure that our websites are accessible to everybody, we need to include words in our main posts. The other reason is Google search, or Google and Bing and DuckDuckGo, any of these search engines use what's called web crawlers. They go to the back of the side of a web page. They also cannot see images. They can't do anything with that content. They need to have the words there. So if you want somebody, a parent who is searching for summer camp middle school, to be able to find your program at the Blue Pine Library, you need to have those words in text available for that web crawler. Finally, posters do not, PDF or JPEGs of posters and PDFs of posters do not resize. Actually, a PDF won't show up at all, but a JPEG or whatever won't resize for a phone. So somebody who is accessing, and right now 60% of website searches are done on a phone or a mobile device, they will have a hard time going through and pinching and zooming to be able to read your poster. So all of that off the soapbox, write some text. It's really useful if you're doing a press release, you already have some text. Also, like a press release, make sure the most important information is in the first 200 characters of your post, at least at the top of your post. We are of the click and scroll generation. The chances of people reading past your first paragraph get slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. And so it used to be with you started with a press release where you put the most important information at the top. Now you have to assume that people may read no more than that first sentence. So who, what, where, when, and why, and the most pertinent things should be in the very first 200 characters of your post. And I'll show you another reason that matters in a minute as well, but that's the primary reason is people just don't read. So I have composed this and I put it into a character counter and to see how many characters I have. And right now I've got 188 characters. So I'm pretty happy with my first paragraph having the majority of the information that I need. I'm going to highlight this that I've already written. Again, I'm going to make a press release out of this later. This happens to acknowledge a community foundation grant and the Friends of the Blue Pine Library, but that's at the very bottom of the post. They get their acknowledgement, but chances are people are just going to read this section. Oh, okay. That's really, putting a lot of thought into your content of your post. That really should be the majority of your work. Save for your featured image. But we'll come to that in a second. First, I'm going to talk about categories. When we go back to our Blue Pine Library website, we have this big post slider, which is where we want this to appear. I happen to know that in order to get anything into that post slider, I need to select the home page category. I also want to select the program category and the youth programs category, so it appears in those places on my website. So I come down here, this is a widget box. So in this categories widget box, I am going to scroll and select my home page, my programs, and my youth programs categories so that they end up in the right places on my website. If you need help figuring out where posts are going on your website, submit a ticket and we can look on the back end and spell that out for you. So you have some guidance for that. I'm going to skip ahead and actually save this draft so I don't lose my work. So I'm going to go ahead and come up to the publish box and hit save draft. It's still not public, but at least this way my work is protected and safe. But you'll also notice here too, as soon as I did that, now it is under posts and homepage rather than uncategorized. So my permalink has changed now that I've changed my my categories. Now the featured image. This is a tricky one. Featured images are a bane to many of our existences because figuring out how to make a good image and that is properly sized is one of the biggest questions that we get. And in marketing, everybody else wants a different size image. Facebook wants a different size image. If you're sending one, if you have a photo that you're sending to the newspaper, it's a different size. It might be a different size. There's just a lot of angst that comes into images. Here's my advice. If you use Canva, as I do, and in this case, I happen to have Canva as a desktop app, but it works the same on the website app. What I do is I create a template for blog posts, and the size of it is 650 by 400. This will work in probably the vast majority of website applications. There's a few where you might find it works better, in a different place, but I just create this blog post. I'm going to open this up. And what I did is I just created a new page and I created my image. Now, nobody criticized my, I'm not a graphic artist. B, I created a logo, an image that may not be our best choice, but I want to demonstrate a few things with it. Here's one example of a decorative image. Doesn't really have anything more to it than just STEAM camp. It's eye-catchy, it's colorful. This would be a perfectly fine image. I also wanted to create in this case, I wanted to use a photo from the camp itself to demonstrate what might be going on during this session. So I created my my feature image, and I'm going to download this. And I don't need all 9 pages. I just need the current page that we're working on. Notice that Canva automatically suggests a PNG file in the size of 650 by 400, because that's what our template was set up for. You can do a JPEG. PNG and JPEG, for our purposes here, are essentially they essentially will work the same way. So I'm going to download this, and now I'm going to show you another new trick. One of the things that we would like our website to help our websites be more accessible, we would like to encourage the use of alternative text. Alternative text not only helps somebody with a screen reader who cannot see this image and would be missing out on a large part of your marketing post, but it's also going to help somebody with low data or very slow internet where images don't load. It gives not a caption, but it gives a description, an alternative text description of what is going on in the photograph that can't be downloaded to on their broadband, or lack of broadband, probably dial-up. We live in a place where that's still very common. The other piece of it is back to that Google and Bing and DuckDuckGo and other web crawlers. Again, they can't read what is on an image. So if you provide a description of what's in that image, and that description includes some of those keywords for marketing, again, you're giving the search engine something to work with, so that when somebody is searching for summer camps, middle school, near me, or in near Blue Pine, Wisconsin, your result for those kids is going to start coming up, or to help those parents find a match with those things. The web crawlers are going to be able to help you out there. So what I am going to do to make this alternative text thing a little bit easier is I am going to, when I download my picture, I am going to describe it. And I am going to describe it, and I'm going to save it with that name. So all I have to do here is type, what do we have? We have middle school children. And what are they doing? They're examining leaves with magnifying glasses and tracing them in notebooks with pencils at an outdoor table at a summer camp. Now I have middle school, I have what they're doing, I have them engaging in STEAM and STEM activities, and I can say that they're at a summer camp. And I'm just going to save my download as that, and I'm going to show you why that matters right now. So I'm going to go back to my website. Where's my page here? I'm editing my post. Okay, so I've already done all of that. Now I'm going to go to my downloads, and I'm going to upload a featured image, or set that as my featured image for my post. So the featured image is once again in a widget. I'm going to click on featured image. I'm going to go over to upload files, and I'm going to select my file. And I already told myself, I made a note over here that it would be in downloads. And sure enough, there it is, my middle school children examining leaves with magnifying glasses. Click open. And now it is uploaded here. Notice alt text. This is where you would stop and pause just half a second, and you're going to copy this title that you already gave it, that it took from the name, and I'm going to paste that into my alt text container. So now I have described it. Also notice I don't have to use punctuation. I don't have to use capitalization. This is not going to be seen by many human beings, if any at all. It is going to be seen by computers. They don't care about capitalization and punctuation. So one thing you can save yourself on. If you put it in, it doesn't matter. It's just one thing. So now I have my featured image. Phew, we are almost done. Okay, we have, to recap, we've given it a title. We've added our text that we already wrote and is going to be part of our press release, if not the entire press release, other than contact us. Our featured image is here. Now, I don't want this to appear yet, but actually here, I want to see what this looks like. I'm going to save my draft, save my work. Back up in this publish widget, there is save draft. Now I'm going to hit preview. And, oh, this is actually a poor example. I forgot to go back. There's a setting in here. We've turned off the ability to see, see, one thing I did not prepare for. I turned off the ability to see the featured image. So I will need to go back and plug that in again. Normally on most of your websites, this would pop up and the featured image would be here up above all of this text. So I will have to fix that one. Didn't get all the way through. What I'm going to do now, though, is I know that this post shouldn't be visible until the 20th. So I'm actually going to schedule this post. And if I click in this publish box, this publish widget box, I click under publish immediately. And instead, I am going to change the date to February 20th. And I'm going to say, doesn't matter, 7:25 a.m. and click OK. Now my post is scheduled for February 20th, 2024. The last thing that I need to do on as far as scheduling goes is I also know that I want this one to go away at a certain time because the deadline is March 31st. So if you have the Publish Press Future plugin installed, and if you don't, there are instructions on the training page for how to do that, or you can send in a website ticket. If you have this plugin installed, then you would click on this Publish Press Future, click Enable Future Action, and then select the date you want the change to happen. And in this case, it's March 31st, or I could just say April 1st for that matter, April 1st at 2 a.m. That sounds fine. And I'm going to have it change the status to draft. You can also choose to delete it or to remove the categories, but the default is change status to draft, and that generally works just fine. I have two more things that left to do. I wanted to make sure that the registration form is included. So I'm going to upload, or I'm going to add my media and upload that. So to upload a PDF, we would click on Add Media and Upload Files. And I'm going to select my file again, just like we did before. And I know it's in downloads. And I have here my Steam Camp registration form. In this case, I actually just saved it as a Word document. It works the same way as a PDF. It is a document. And then I am going to insert into post. And right here is my link to the Steam Camp registration form. And then if I wanted to include and then I'm going to go back and edit my text And I'm going to say the summer STEAM camp is going to be held at the Blue Pine Middle School Fab Lab. In the insert edit link, and here's the link that I have about the Fab Lab. So insert link. One thing I want to do here is I want to click on link options, open it in a new tab so people don't lose what they're looking at when they're here, and then it creates a link for me. And I can schedule this now. Let's save my draft for the fun of it. I'm going to schedule this, but we want to take a look and see what it would look like. So let's go ahead and let's actually just make this published today, 15th. I can update that date. So we're going to publish this. And now when I come back to my Blue Pine Library website and hit refresh, I have my summer STEAM camp post up and ready to go. That seems labor intensive, but once you have all of this information, it really is. I did a lot of talking in there. It is click, 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 click. If somebody wants to know more about this and get to the registration, click on the read more. You may look at this afterwards and go like, oh, I really want that to say click here to download or follow this link to download, and make sure that it is very obvious where to go. So that's where at some point it's good to go back and you're going to read it again and make sure that that looks right. The other thing that we can do you notice when I, sorry, I have to go back to visit site, open in, that's not what I wanted. It's okay, I can fix it. Okay, when I, it does the ... thing, and it just cuts it off after so many characters. What I can do is I can do a post excerpt. So this is one more widget box on here. You actually have a choice. You can do a simple content summary, but in this case, we actually want to do a post excerpt. When I add that and I update my post, and this is an optional extra step, but notice that it just gives you exactly the text that you want there, and it doesn't have that additional ... So that will clean it up. Hopefully, what you can do is streamline your process so that the text you're using is text that you're going to be using somewhere else to publicize this. The image you use is an image that you can use somewhere else, and the link can be part of your future publicity. You can share that to Facebook or make that part of your social campaign to drive people back to your website rather than using your website to link people out to Facebook. Because really, you get credit for what happens on your website. You don't get much credit for everything else. Yes, Julia. So can you edit, in chat, Julia asks, can you edit the permalink to shorten it? Yes, you can. So let's, for example, in here say that I had actually, let's make my title, Summer STEAM Camp, register now before it's full. So let's make that that was the title I want to have appear on mine. Okay, and well, I would have to create a new post. Let me do that. Let me add a new post and make that the title, just so you can kind of see what happens. You can make your title as much as you want. Come on. And see what it does here is it makes a big mess of this content here. So I'm going to just throw together a very, very fast. I'm going to show you how quickly this can be done. Copy, paste. Oh, this is how quickly it can be done. You move too fast and you make mistakes. Delete, delete. I'm actually going to change this and make sure this is all in paragraph style. It does have that third annual is a little weird. And in some cases, I might come back. I'm going to set my featured image, which I already have in my media library, so I don't have to recreate that. And I want this to appear on the home page. So update and publish that. So Julia, long way to say, oh, now I have a really messy, ugly permalink because of all this register now before it's full. It all still looks fine on here because it says Summer Steam Camp, register now before it's full. But I want to be able to publicize this. So all I have to do is click on this edit. And then I can take that and delete off that extra stuff. Notice it makes it automatically a number 2 because we already have one named this. You can't have 2 of the exact same name, but it will just toss on a number. We could edit it down to Summer Steam. We could just have our Summer Steam program, and then that would work for a link. Does that help? Okay, any other questions? Okay, then I will pause and I'll stop my recording here, or at least pause it.